Hey there viewers, it's Charlie. I'm back again with another Transformers review. And today's review is going to be on Legacy Kickback. Hopefully the first of what's going to be a deluxe set of Insecticons. Not to be confused with the deluxe Insecticons. Now, as for Shrapnel and Bombshell, we haven't heard anything about them yet. I mean, they could be released in the next set of toy lines. They could be released as a store exclusive 2-pack for all we know. But for right now, Kickback is a very heavily G1 inspired figure. I mean, seriously, this is pretty much just a G1 figure with added articulation, and you'll see that with the transformation. Well, first of all, taking a look at the packaging. Of course, we've got the standard I can't speak. The standard Legacy packaging. So we got no window for all the kiddies to just get their fingers in there, and all the scumbags to take the heads. Got Kickback in his beast mode. Got Kickback in his robot mode, plus a close-up of his head. Got his name in Cybertronian. This side, we got some Decepticons, which is pretty cool. The back, we got Kickback in both modes. And we got a QR code if you want to scan that, which takes you to his bio page on the website. Well, that's pretty much it for the box. And well, taking a look at the actual figure, it's Kickback. What else can I say? I mean, should I get my Studio Series cup out and just do this with it? It's just like in the movie. I mean, but yeah, this is a pretty accurate figure. Well, aside from the wings, but that's because they're taking after Kingdom and just giving him more accurate grasshopper wings. I don't mind it, but compared to the rest of the beast mode, which is more mechanical, it does sort of stick out. And it makes me wonder, are they going to give Bombshell a more accurate, like, proboscis or something? Or are they going to give Shrapnel more accurate, like, wings or something? Because, like, the full Cybertron version? I don't know, just predictions. Because it's kind of like, they're just going to give all beast mode, they're just going to make all beast modes realistic now, except for the Dinobots. That's what it feels like. All beast modes must be realistic to the actual animal now. Unless you're Grimlock and the Dinobots. The underneath. I mean, the head is sort of there, but it is sort of covered, so I mean, at least they did try to hide the face, at least. The top, we can see some translucent plastic, although, thankfully, this is one of the cases where it's not, well, it's just used for decoration, not used in the figure's structural integrity, which is nice. However, as you can see, there is a hinge there, but unlike the G1 figure, this does not open. Like, why? Was this a scrap feature or something? Was it just there to troll us? Why put a hinge there if it's not going to actually open? I don't know. Let's just move on before I start making up like weird theories that are probably not even true. let's move on to the accessories. Now, Kickback, of course, has his gun. And I think I've got seekers flying over my house right now, if you can hear that. But, well, this gun can just plug under here. Pretty, standard. I mean, at least it's not plugging over the bug, like most Warfare Cybertron Trilogy figures did. Now if I could just get my bag of blast effects. And, of course, plug one in. So, I know I've said this before, but I'm glad that they're still keeping the blast effect compatibility. Now, these next two weapons, well, they're a bit more interesting as they play into the Energon weapon gimmick. You get these little, I guess, Energon crystals. Well, they're meant to be like little blades. And what these can do is, well, in the beast mode is, they can plug into his wings. Just have to line it up. Although, seeing how I'm on camera, it's probably going to be a bit trickier. I'll do this off camera because if I try to do it on camera, I'm going to waste like 5 to 10 minutes doing it. There we go. I didn't have to plug it into the right wings. But you can have this look going on. So I guess he's radiating with dark energon. And I kind of like this look. I think it makes him look way cooler. So if you get them plugged in the right way, then they're actually on a pretty steadily. I mean, sure, they're translucent plastic, but, well, it's still cool. I really like it. Now, just getting all of this off. Because, well, let's do a comparison with the OG Kickback. And my one's got a bit of a droopy wing. Best thing, I usually just push the arms in. There we go. That usually sorts it. But yeah, comparing the two, we can definitely say that the Legacy version pays homage to the G1 toy. I mean, got the translucent cockpit section. I mean, the Decepticons thing is in a different place, but still. Got the hands forming the, I guess, beast's claws. I guess. I don't know insects that well. The head forms the beast head. We've got the antenna. Plus, the wings are reminiscent of the variant of the G1 figure where these aren't rounded off, you know, where they're more pointy. So, yeah. Well, that's pretty much it for the comparison. And well, that's pretty much it for the beast mode. So, getting on to the transformation. If you know how the G1 figure transforms, well, it's pretty much just like that, but with some extra steps. So if I just raise my camera up a little bit. To start, take the little beast feet here. Twist them around and push them up. Push them in. Get the robot feet out. And your legs are pretty much all done here. rotate these around, close these up, get these down, and the arms are already done. Spin around the wings. Get this section down. Get the antennas up. Spin around the head. And here we have Kickback in his robot mode. Does that transformation seem familiar? Here's the G1 for comparison. So you get the beast legs up, and that gets the robot feet out. You close up the hands. You get the arms down. You get the wings up, and you spin the head around. It's essentially the same transformation, just with a few extra steps. And while looking at this figure, oh my god, I love how this looks. I mean, this is just making me excited for what they do with Bombshell and the Shrapnel, or, well, Scrapnel, sorry. I mean, like, the only hollowness I can see are the forearms here and in here. That's how quality this is. Looking at the head. Oh, that's definitely a really good head sculpt. I mean, seriously. Plus, we've got the antennas, which, if you move one, and it moves the other. Now, giving him his weaponry, of course, we give him, well, we can give him his gun. And with these swords, well, you can do a couple of things with them. The back of the box, if I can just remember. Yeah, the back of the box shows he's right in his forearms. I don't know, I guess it can be like the blades that Cybertron Starscream has. You can put these in his shoulders if you want. You can plug these into his wings. Once again, bear with me. It's a bit easier to do robot mode for me. But yeah, you can plug these into his wings, and I really like how this looks. This is how I display them. Because I think this is a really nice look, especially if you have like a light shining on it. It just looks really nice. If you don't want him holding a gun, if you think that he should be practicing, like, if you think Kickback should be like with Bludgeon in Metallicato, then, well, you can just have him hold these as actual blades. If I can get this in. There we go. So he can dual wield these swords. Or if you want him holding both the sword and the gun, we'll just give him the gun again. And you can actually combine these. Unfortunately, you can't have the thing be symmetrical. You can only have it like this. And this is definitely a complaint I have. The swords can't be symmetrical when you combine them. But you can have this going on. So if I just plug this in, I don't know, maybe he just found a huge wad of dark Energon and he's handing it to Megatron. Or he can hold it like this. Maybe it's like a huge grape flavored popsicle. I mean, it weighs on his hand. But yeah, I just prefer to have this plugged into his wings. And I mean, I'm just going to lay this off to the side for now. But after the review, I'm going to put those back onto his wings. And well, I'm not seeing any ports to put like the slash blast effects on, you know, like what Springer's swords have. Speaking of blast effects, as I showed, in fact, let me get a better color here. You can plug one right onto his gun here. Sorry, I don't have the purple blast effects right now. And of course, the good old laser feet, because they're also keeping the weaponizer ports. If I can get this on. So yeah, if you ever wanted Kickback to shoot lasers from his feet, well, this is the figure for you. Although I think they've gotten rid of the actual impact ports, unfortunately, which is definitely a bummer. But you still have like the ports on the feet, as I showed, the size of the legs, the forearms, the shoulders, and the back. So if you want to combine them with a weaponizer or a fossilizer, then go ahead. Now, comparison with G1 Kickback, and in fact, I think I've lost his weapon. Oh no, there it is. You can definitely see its size difference. And like even with earlier generations figures for Kickback was a Legends figure in Titan's Returns, so but you can definitely see, well, you can definitely see the evolution here. I mean, the gun just clipped over his hand back in G1. Oh, although the G1 figure does have the opening cockpit, whereas this one doesn't. Although the G1 figure does have some detail on the feet, and the back of the box actually does show that detail on the feet. Whereas here, it's not even on the feet. Budget reasons? Probably. Now, for Kickback's articulation, well, the head isn't a ball joint, so it can kind of look up, look down, and of course, it can look around. Excuse me. Thankfully, I've not seen any reports of Kickback's head getting torn off in shops like Silver Street's head. Although, I'd still say be careful. Arms can, of course, move all around. Of course, you can T-pose to assert dominance on the other Kickback clones, I guess. Because there were multiples of him in the show, as well as the other Insecticons. Of course, he's got an elbow joint, which can swivel. And if you want to, I guess, replicate the G1 figure, you can turn that around and have this claw. He's got a waist joint. He can kick forward. He can kick back. Eh? I'm not funny. But yeah, he can, well, live up to his name. He's got a knee joint up to there. So he's got a side swivel. Got really good, he did a splits, Like, this isn't loose because it holds its position, but it does move quite easily. Especially compared to this leg. And once again, full 90-degree ankle pivot. So yeah. And if I could just give Kickback his Dark Energon blades, I'll give it to him in sword form this time, just because, well, why not? And Starscream was flying over my house again. Well, that's pretty much all I had to say about Kickback. Complaints? Well, this isn't much of a complaint as it is a nitpick, but I do wish that the cockpit could open, just like the G1 figure. Especially since it's got a hinge. I just think it's a bit of a tease. An actual complaint, I wish that the swords could combine symmetrically. Because this is a bit awkward looking. I also think that this leg's a bit too loose, but that's probably just my copy. But well, do I recommend this figure? Well, yeah, this is definitely... sorry, it's just... I think out of all of the Wave 1 Deluxes, sans RC, I think this one's, well, not my least favorite, but I think, like, the lowest for me. Like, don't get me wrong, I still love this guy, but I think it's just because he's got, like, the blandest transformation. Like, I'm not... No, I'm gonna wait until I get RC before I fully judge him, but for now, I definitely do recommend him, but for me, I still really like him, but the fact that his transformation is just a rehash of G1 Kickback transformation, like the G1 toy, just with some extra steps, kind of brings it down. Especially seeing how the other Wave 1 Legacy figures definitely have some interesting things to them. I mean, just look at Laser Prime's transformation. But I know people buy that. I know that there's people who don't care about the transformation, and if you don't, then by all means, go ahead. No matter what, this is still a really, really fun figure, and just because I've ranked this guy as, like, my least favorite out of the Wave 1 Deluxes, not counting RC because I don't have her yet, this is still a really good figure, and I really like him, so no matter what, I definitely do recommend this guy. Well, this has been my review on Legacy Kickback, and this is Charlie Young, signing off.